I want to welcome everybody to the fourth presentation of our camp and my second presentation. Let's open with a word of prayer. Holy God, we thank you that you might be with us and bless us. We ask for grace and strength on this day of preparation, that we might have a clearer understanding of what it is we need to know. In Jesus' name, Amen. I was reminded yesterday that I've been discussing the subject of Revelation 17 since Switzerland, so it's a lot earlier than Slovakia. Seems important to me that each of you watch those presentations and understand what's being taught. Seems important to me that in your fellowship week by week, that material is reviewed. Because every time, at least for the present, I'm at a camp meeting, I'm just going to continue the same material and expect you to have understood what's already been taught. So yesterday we were speaking about Revelation chapter 12, 13 and 17. We didn't actually discuss chapter 12 at all. It's important that we all understand that the beast in those chapters is the same creature, it's the same animal. Which means that they are the same history. So they're just different perspectives of the same story. We need to understand that story, singular, in two ways. We need to see and understand that there's a panoramic view. In the past, people might have used the word snapshot. But we've all got phones now. When we use your camera, they actually have a panoramic option when you take a picture. You're able to see the beginning to the end in one picture, in one word picture. When you read the verses, you need to be clear that that's what you can see, that's what's being taught. If you're still not sure about that, you need to bring it up while we're at camp. You need to bring it up while we're here in person. So, once you can see that in the words, once you can conceptualize that this is a singular picture from the beginning to the end, you then need to see that you're introduced into that story, the one story,
que vous êtes introduit dans cette seule histoire
at a particular point in time,
à un point particulier dans le temps,
which is a specific dispensation. That's the word that I've used.
qui est une dispensation particulière, c'est le mot spécifique.
So there's a panoramic perspective and a dispensational.
Il y a une perspective panoramique et une dispensation.
And it's of the same story, and it happens 3 times.
C'est la même histoire et elle se passe en trois fois.
If you go to the book of Daniel, you'll see the same story, and it's repeated more than 3 times there.
Et si vous regardez, vous allez au livre de Daniel, c'est la même histoire, mais elle est répétée beaucoup plus que 3 fois.
But we're focusing just on Revelation at the moment.
Mais nous nous focalisons uniquement sur
Yesterday, I hope that we all are relatively happy
je pense que nous étions relativement contents.
that if this is the panoramic view,
Voilà là, la vision panoramique.
that we can all see that we're at point 2 in the middle of the story.
Et nous pouvons voir que nous sommes au point 2, au milieu de l'histoire.
You see that in chapter 12 if you were to look at it, and 13 and 17.
Nous le voyons au chapitre 12, 13, mais aussi 17.
And we went to Isaiah 46 verse 10,
Et on le voit là dans Ésaïe 46, 10.
and we saw this same concept introduced there.
Et nous voyons le même concept introduit.
So we know that this vision is being given to John approximately 100 AD.
Nous savons que cette vision est donnée à Jean en l'an 100, son antiquité.
But in chapter 13 and 17,
Mais au chapitre 13 et 17,
if you can imagine that he's brought forward into time, so he time travels,
et si on peut imaginer qu'il a été transporté dans le temps,
and he's put in a specific point in history,
il est placé à un point spécifique dans l'histoire,
literal history.
dans l'histoire littérale.
But when he's placed in that literal history,
Quand il est placé dans cette histoire littérale,
the way it's described is in symbolic language.
la façon dont c'est décrit, c'est par un langage symbolique.
These studies are not designed to prove where he is in history.
Ces études ne sont pas là pour prouver là où il se trouve dans l'histoire.
That kind of information I expect you to be doing in your fellowships with your local teachers.
C'est ce type d'explication que j'aimerais que vous fassiez dans vos groupes avec vos enseignants.
They would pick up a study like this,
Quand nous prenons une étude telle que celle-ci,
and in a couple of presentations,
et dans quelques présentations,
they would prove in Revelation 13
et ainsi nous prouvons dans Apocalypse 13,
where John is standing in history.
là où Jean se situe dans l'histoire.
So you need to know
Il nous faut donc savoir
how we develop those proofs.
comment ce groupe est développé,
Same with Revelation 17.
là dans Apocalypse 17.
So they're the kinds of things that we should all be familiar with and we should be teaching.
C'est ce genre de choses avec lesquelles il nous faut être familier et qu'il nous faut enseigner.
And none of that is new. It'll all be revision.
Rien de cela est nouveau.
So, using the language from Isaiah 46,
Utilisant le langage Apocalypse 46,
I think it's important to understand that there are these 3 phases: past, present and future.
il est important de comprendre que c'est en 3 phases, passé, présent, futur.
And why is that important
Mais pourquoi est-ce important?
to understand this?
Pourquoi cette information est
from the Isaiah 46 perspective.
selon la perspective d'Ésaïe 46:10.
Someone should be getting ready to answer.
Alors, quelqu'un est prêt à répondre?
So as you're thinking about your answer, or
Alors, que vous
putting your hand up, I just want to remind us
j'aimerais vous rappeler
that in Isaiah,
que dans Ésaïe,
he's not moved to a different time.
Ésaïe est pas déplacé dans une époque différente.
Where Isaiah is speaking, it's actually the present day for him in real life.
Quand Ésaïe parle, il s'agit là du jour présent pour lui dans la Sainte.
There's no symbology.
Il n'y a pas de symbolisme dans ce.
Anybody going to try to answer my question? Cobus?
Répondre à ma question.
Just to remind you, my question is, why is this concept, past, present and future, important to understand?
Pourquoi ce concept passé, présent et futur est important?
It's a model that we use over and over again in our movement.
C'est un modèle que nous utilisons à maintes reprises dans notre vie.
You need to be clear on what we do,
Il nous faut être clair sur ce que nous faisons.
and you also need to have the ability to see in a passage it being demonstrated.
Et il nous faut avoir la capacité de le voir dans le passage quand il est démontré.
So if you read a Spirit of Prophecy quote or a Bible passage, you'll see this methodology being used.
Et ainsi, quand vous êtes dans un passage biblique ou dans un passage de l'esprit de prophétie, vous verrez cette méthodologie utilisée.
Go ahead.
It's declaring the end from the beginning. Declaring the end from the beginning.
C'est déclarer la fin par le commencement,
But also understanding what has happened at the present
mais aussi comprendre ce qui se passe dans le présent.
in context, then it will help to explain the future.
Et aussi dans le contexte, on peut savoir
Have you finished? Yeah. When you say end to beginning,
quand vous dites la fin par le commencement,
can you just give me the number?
est-ce que vous pouvez voir le nom?
Number one will help you to understand number three.
Le numéro 1 vous aidera à comprendre le numéro 3.
Everybody got that?
Tout le monde comprend ça?
Can carry on?
But it's important to understand number two.
Mais il est important de comprendre le numéro 2.
That is the present truth, or what is happening now in the present.
C'est la vérité présente, mais aussi de comprendre ce qui se passe en ce moment, dans le présent.
Why do you need to understand number 2?
Pourquoi il nous faut comprendre le numéro 2?
It gives you the context of the information of the past that will help you to understand number three, the future.
Il nous donne le contexte pour comprendre le numéro 3 qui se passe dans le futur.
If we stick to numbers,
Vous parlez de nom
and can you just re-explain what you just said a little bit simpler?
and explique ce que tu viens de dire tout ça.
We need to understand what is happening now.
Il nous faut comprendre ce qui se passe dans le présent maintenant.
With numbers.
Quel nom?
Number two,
Le numéro 2.
Why?
Mais pourquoi?
that is the present, and that is giving you the context, if I can say it like that, to understand it.
In the context of the l'étude, dans le contexte de l'étude.
I was going to say he can repeat it.
Non,
You got it? Okay. Anything else?
est-ce qu'il y a d'autres choses?
Tata? My question is,
Ma question est,
why is number 2 important?
pourquoi le nombre 2 est-il important?
Because the verse just says 1 and 3.
Parce que le verset, lui, ne
So you are currently number 2.
Nous sommes au numéro 2, le présent.
You need to understand number 2.
Il nous faut comprendre le numéro 2.
And for you, the reason it's important for you to understand it, number 2, you need to understand number 3.
Et il est important de comprendre le numéro 2, le présent, pour comprendre le numéro 3, le futur.
And the only way to understand number 3, you need to go backwards to understand what is number 1.
Et pour pouvoir comprendre le numéro 3, le futur, il faut retourner au numéro 1. Merci.
You finished? Can you repeat the first half of what you said,
Est-ce que tu peux répéter la première partie de ce que tu viens de dire?
which is the relationship between 2 and 3?
La relation entre le 2, le présent, et le 3, le futur.
Everybody's clear about 1 and 3.
Parce que tout le monde est clair sur le 1 et le 3.
I want to know about 2.
Moi, je veux savoir sur le 2.
You don't understand, you don't understand number 2.
Si nous ne comprenons pas le numéro 2, le présent,
And you are required to understand number 2.
mais il nous est demandé de comprendre le numéro 2, le présent.
Because you cannot understand number 3 if you don't understand number 2.
Parce que vous ne pouvez pas comprendre le numéro 3, le futur, si vous ne comprenez pas le numéro 2, le présent.
So you need to understand number 2.
Donc, il vous faut comprendre le numéro 2.
And the only way to understand number 2 is concentrating on number 2 and going backwards and then going forward.
Can you repeat it?
For you to understand number 2,
Alors, pour que vous puissiez comprendre le numéro 2, le présent,
you need to go back again to number 1 and then you understand number 2 to understand number 3.
retourner au numéro 1 pour comprendre le numéro 2 et comprendre le 3.
Thank you. Put your hands up if you don't know what the people are talking about.
Alors, levez la main si vous ne savez pas ce qui est...
If no one puts their hand up, I'm going to ask somebody to explain.
Donc, si vous levez la main, je vais demander à quelqu'un de...
It's going to be someone over here. So put your hand up if you don't understand, because I'm going to ask you to explain it.
Levez la main si vous ne comprenez pas, parce que je vais demander à ce qu'on vous explique.
And don't say, I don't know. Put your hands up now that you don't know, so I won't ask you.
Vous ne savez pas et si vous ne savez pas, levez la main.
If you can't explain, please put your hand up, then I won't ask you. Okay. Everybody on this side understands. Numbuso, explain. All I want to know is, why is number 2 important?
Ce que je veux savoir, c'est pourquoi le numéro 2 est important.
It will make you understand what is expected of you.
Non, can you repeat?
It will make you understand what is expected of you if you understand number 2.
Ça nous permet de comprendre ce qui est demandé de nous si nous comprenons le numéro.
What's expected of you?
Qu'est-ce qui est demandé? Qu'est-ce qu'on se demande?
It's depend. It's depend. It's depend.
No, I'm confused. I put my hand up. Number 2 is important because it tells you what you need to do, and you don't know what you need to do.
You know.
Le numéro 2 est important. Can you repeat? Number 2.
Yeah, I'm confused. We'll just leave it there. Start again.
It will make you understand what is expected of you if you understand number 2, as we are reflecting on number 1. It will make you understand what is expected of you.
Ça te permet de comprendre ce qu'on attend de toi.
And what is expected of you?
Mais qu'est-ce qu'on attend de toi?
To behave according to the test of that time, or the story
To
of
what?
that time.
You've got to be right close.
To behave according to the test of that time.
Just
De comporter selon le test de notre époque.
Just give me numbers.
Donne-moi des noms.
Your next door neighbour. Go.
Okay, Number 2 is where we are, the present.
Le numéro 2, c'est là où nous nous trouvons dans le présent.
To understand what we ought to do, we must go to number 1.
Pour comprendre ce que nous devons faire, il nous faut aller au numéro 1.
Then number 1 will help us understand number 2.
Et quand nous sommes au numéro 1, il nous faut comprendre le numéro 2.
And then number 1 and 2 will help us understand number 3.
Le numéro 1 et 2 nous aidera à comprendre le numéro 3.
Did that help?
Est-ce que ça a aidé?
It didn't help? Okay. Regina?
Okay, I think why number 2 is to understand why number 2 is important, because okay, yeah, that is where you are, and that's where things are happening.
Parce que c'est là où vous vous situez, c'est là que les choses se passent.
You are in the present, you're in that moment.
Vous êtes dans le présent en ce moment.
So what is happening in number 2 has already occurred in number 1.
Ce qui s'est déjà passé au numéro 2, le présent s'est déjà passé dans le numéro 1, le passé.
So for you to understand what is happening in your history, you go back to number 1, you check what happened.
Ce qui se passe, ce qui est en train de se passer dans votre histoire, vous retournez au numéro 1.
It's already getting too complicated. But carry on.
Continuez, c'est déjà trop compliqué.
It's getting complicated, then I stop.
Did you just say number 1 points to number 2?
Est-ce que tu as dit que le numéro 1 pointe vers le numéro 2?
No.
Non.
Am I the only one that heard that?
Alors suis-je le seul à avoir entendu ça?
I heard that.
Moi j'ai entendu.
You definitely said number 1
Régina a dit
points to number 2.
le numéro 1 pointe sur le numéro 2.
But you used complicated language to hide that,
C'est un langage compliqué pour le cacher.
which is why I said it's getting complicated.
Okay.
Ça devient compliqué.
Because even you think you didn't say that. You said you need number 1 to explain number 2.
Tu as dit qu'on a besoin du numéro 1 pour expliquer le numéro 2.
Just clarifying that you said that.
Je clarifie.
I'm not saying
Maybe I did, but I didn't mean to say that. Maybe I did, but that's not what I mean.
Start again then.
C'est ce que j'ai dit, mais c'est pas ce que j'ai dit.
Okay, so what? Okay, the way I understand Isaiah 46:10,
La façon dont je comprends Isaïe 46:10,
I understand that God will declare the end from the beginning.
je comprends que Dieu va déclarer la fin par le commencement.
Just give me the numbers.
Okay, 1
1 does what?
is going to show you what is going to happen at 3.
Le 1 nous aide à comprendre ce qui se passe dans le 3.
So that is past, future. And then you are in the present. You are in the middle there. That is number
Go
2.
let her translate. She'll just stop if you.
Oh, sorry.
Dans le présent, au numéro 2, tu dois comprendre.
Okay, so I can continue.
So when you are in the number 2, is the present. Continue.
Okay, so when you're in the number 2, you need to look back at number 1.
Donc quand tu es au numéro 2, tu regardes en arrière au numéro 1, le passé.
So that which is happening at number 3 has already happened at number 1.
Ce qui s'est déjà passé, ce qui est en train de se passer au numéro 3, ce qui va se passer au numéro 3, c'est déjà passé au numéro 1.
I got this one, and then I got this one.
J'ai ces deux-là, passé, présent,
Okay.
Now what?
et ensuite quoi?
So then you want to understand what is happening at number 2 since I'm in that history.
Donc il te faut comprendre ce qui se passe au numéro 2, le présent, cette histoire-là.
So I read the newspaper. I'm at number 2. I know what's going on, and
Je suis au numéro 2, je lis un article de journaux, de journal, et je sais ce qui se passe, et ensuite,
I don't want to talk 'cause
Sorry?
I'm getting.
maintenant je suis confuse là.
I've confused
She
you,
wa-
or you've confused
Ah
yourself.
no, she wants to help me.
C'est moi qui te rends confuse, c'est toi-même.
Tina had the hand up, I think. Yeah, Tina's had her hand up. I thought you said you wanted to say something. Yes.
Yeah, I was saying that I think number 2 can work as a guideline.
Je pense que le numéro 2, le présent, peut être comme une directive.
I've got 1 points to 2. Just do it like that.
Donc, essaye simplement de garder le 1 pour
Okay.
le 2.
2.
2 helps you understand 3.
2 t'aide à comprendre le 3.
So 1 explains 3 and 2 explains 3.
Le 1 explique le 3 et le 2 explique le 3.
So what you just said.
Yes, yes.
C'est ce que tu viens de dire?
How do you know 2 explains 3?
Comment sais-tu que le 2 explique le 3?
Because we already looked at 1 and we know that 1 explains 2. Based on that,
Et le 1 explique le 2.
So you want to change your Gina's arrow.
Tu veux changer la flèche donc, de Regina.
Now you've got 1 explaining 2
Maintenant, tu as le 1 qui explique le 2
and then 2 explaining 3
et le 2 explique le 3
and 1 explaining 3.
et le 1 explique le 3.
yes.
We'll stop you there so it doesn't get complicated. At the back. And then Curtis.
My understanding is 2, that is, I have at present,
Donc le 2, ma compréhension, c'est que le 2, le présent,
no fear of the future, that is, no fear of 3,
pas de crainte du futur, c'est donc pas de crainte du 3.
lest I forget how God has led his people in number 1, that is the past.
Tu oublies la façon dont Dieu nous a conduits par le passé, numéro 1.
You're at number 2.
I am number 2.
Je suis au numéro
I have no fear of what is happening at the present.
Je n'ai
At
pas
number
de
2,
crainte de ce qui se passe dans le présent.
Do you know what's going to happen in the future?
Et tu sais ce qui va se passer dans le futur,
Whether you're afraid or not.
que tu aies peur ou pas.
I know
Je sais.
How do you know?
Mais comment?
prophecy
La prophétie,
Which number?
quel nom?
3.
Le 3.
No, how do you know what number 3 is?
Alors comment tu sais comment va se passer le numéro 3?
I know how number 3 is because I refer to what has happened in number 1.
Et je connais le numéro 3 parce que je me réfère à ce qui s'est passé au numéro 1, le passé.
So I've got that
Je l'ai déjà, ça.
from 1 to 3,
De 1 à 3,
and you're at number 2.
I am in number 2, so I have no fear of number 3
donc j'ai aucune crainte pour le 3
because of what has happened in number 1.
par rapport à ce qui s'est passé au numéro 1, le passé.
And you think your understanding of number 1 is going to be sufficient to understand number 3.
Et tu penses que le numéro 1 est suffisant pour comprendre
Again, Elder? Question again?
You think your understanding of number 1 is sufficient to understand number 3.
Yes.
que ta compréhension du numéro 1, le passé, est suffisant pour comprendre le numéro 3, le futur. Oui.
So you disagree with Tina.
Donc tu es en désaccord avec ce que Tina a dit.
I'm not sure if I did get to know. I was just thinking about I'm the next to answer.
You have to repeat that because we didn't get the joke.
I'm not sure if I did hear what Tina was saying. All I was focusing is on how am I going to put my answer because I'm the one who needs to answer.
She didn't hear Tina.
Yeah.
Donc elle n'a pas écouté Tina et elle se concentrait sur sa réponse pour pouvoir répondre ça.
Tina said
Tina a dit,
it's not enough.
ce n'est pas suffisant.
If you just have 1,
D'avoir que le 1,
it won't explain 3.
ça ne va pas expliquer le 3.
That's why she said 2 explains 3
C'est pour ça qu'elle a dit que le 2 explique le 3
and 1 explains 2.
et le 1 explique le 2.
I think I don't agree on that note because I say I am at 2. I know what is going to happen at 3 because it is. Oh, sorry.
Au 2, je sais ce qui va se passer au 3, le futur.
Because
Because it is already explained by what has happened at 1.
Parce que ça explique ce qui s'est passé au 1, le passé.
So what
and
happened
you're
at 1?
confident
Donc tu as confiance.
that your understanding of 1 is sufficient to explain number 3.
Tu as confiance dans le fait que de comprendre ce qui s'est passé dans le numéro 1,
Me personally, I'm confident.
ce qui va se passer dans le futur, le numéro 3.
The answer was yes.
La réponse est oui.
Question again?
The question again.
Yours? What's your follow-up question?
Are you confident that your understanding of number 1 explains number 3?
Yes, unless I don't understand number 1 then.
Ta compréhension du numéro 1, le passé, t'aidera à comprendre le numéro 2.
So that was yes.
Yes.
Okay. Curtis.
I'm just going to repeat what she said. I'm just going to repeat what she said.
Yeah, that was deliberate. She's not going to translate.
Because I think number 1 explains 3. That's its job. At some point, what we have as number 2 used to be
Which point is that? You said
in the
at-
past.
You said at some point.
In the past.
I thought number 2 was the present.
Sure.
Okay.
So, in how you've drawn it, number 2 is the present. Number 1 explains 3. Full stop. Now, to understand number 2, it used to be a number 3.
Sorry, you said it.
The present used to be the future at some point in the past.
Ok, le présent a été le futur à un certain
Oh, never mind.
I gave other people another chance.
No, I mean it's.
I don't know why they're
Yeah,
laughing.
yeah, that's why okay,
Do it again.
if you
I
draw
got
2
1,
lines.
1 to 3. I got
Yeah.
that. Is number 2 important?
Is number 2
Is
important?
number 2 important?
It is
Why?
because you need a past to look at.
Number 1. Just give me numbers. Tell me why number 2 is important.
To act as a hinge. You need to be at number 2 to be able to look at number 1.
Why? What's the relationship between number 1 and number 2?
Number 1 is the past of number 2.
So number 1 and number 2 are the same thing. Like you said, number 1 and number 3 are the same thing. I've changed point 2 and changed it to the same thing. This arrow says 1 equals 3, does it?
Yeah, and I'm saying full stop.
So my question is, did you just say number 1 equals number 2?
No.
Start again then.
No. I'm happy to leave it at that.
So we just get rid of number 2.
Yeah.
So we're at number 2, and what's going on around you is irrelevant because you don't need it.
It depends what job you're trying to do.
One job.
I want to understand the future.
Understand 3.
I look at number 1. And to understand 3, my job is done.
If I were here, could I understand number 3 by looking at number 1? Or do I have to be at number 2?
Well, what I tried saying is that enough time has to have passed past 1 to get a clear understanding of 1.
Je me dis, il faut qu'il y ait suffisamment de laps de temps après le 1 pour pouvoir comprendre le numéro 1.
Is that just yes?
Yeah.
So you have to be at number 2.
Yes.
Il faut être au numéro 2.
Can't be before it.
No.
Il ne peut pas être avant le numéro 2 le présent.
Why do you have to be at number 2?
Pourquoi il faut être au numéro 2 le présent?
Which is the same question
C'est la même question
as why is number 2 important?
que quand j'ai posé pourquoi le numéro 2 est important.
To get a better understanding of number 1.
Pour avoir une meilleure compréhension du numéro 1.
So number 2 and number 1 have a relationship.
Sure.
Donc le numéro 2 et 1 ont une relation.
And what's that relationship?
Quelle est donc cette relation?
That I can draw. Because I've got 1 equals 3.
Okay. So number 2 looks back at 1.
Donc le numéro 3 regarde au 1. Le numéro 2
And then number 1 points to number 3.
et le numéro 1 regarde.
I don't know if you've drawn it correctly though.
I can redraw it. You said 2 points to 1.
As in, look, you try to understand. I'm not saying you explain number 1.
Donc tu as dit que le 2 pointe à 1.
Is that what your pointer means? Is that what your pointer means?
C'est là que veut dire
I'm at number 2
Yeah.
je suis au numéro 2.
and I want to understand
Number 3.
number 3
Je veux comprendre le 3
and I'm going to look back at number 1.
Yeah.
et ensuite je regarde en arrière au numéro 1.
So
And
the
number
arrow-
1 will give me information for number 3.
Et le numéro 1 me donnera des informations pour le 3.
Yeah.
Full stop. Yeah.
Are you happy that 1 equals 3?
Yes.
C'est d'accord 1 égale 3.
My only question now,
Ma seule question,
what's the relationship between 2 and 1?
quelle est la relation entre le 2 et le 1?
Because you just said
Tu viens de dire,
you can't do it at point X.
on ne peut pas mettre le 2 à un point X.
Point X has no relationship to 1,
Le point X n'a aucune relation avec le 1.
but 2 does.
Mais 2 là,
I think that's what you're saying.
je pense que c'est ce que tu es en train de dire.
And I just want to know what the relationship is.
Quelle est donc cette relation entre les deux?
Because you're awfully close to saying equals.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying they're not equal. That's why I want to leave it as full stop.
C'est pour ça que j'ai dit je m'arrête.
I want to know what the relationship is.
Je veux savoir la relation.
You can't say, I'm not telling you.
Tu peux pas dire je ne peux
None.
pas.
I don't know what else to say other than equals, because at least in my head I know it's not equals,
Parce que je sais que c'est pas égal.
but I don't know what to call it.
Mais je ne sais pas comment l'appeler.
So you don't have an answer.
Sure.
Tu n'as pas de réponse.
So you don't know why number 2 is important.
Donc tu ne sais pas pourquoi le numéro 2 est important.
I have to take the arrow off.
Parce que je dois enlever cette...
Because you've given me no reason to put it on.
Parce que tu me donnes aucune raison de la placer.
Can't say there's a relationship, but I'm not telling you what it is.
Je peux pas dire il y a une relation mais entre le 2 et le 1 sans vous dire quelle est cette relation.
Neither can you say
Et non plus tu ne peux
there's a relationship, but I don't know what it is.
il y a une relation et je ne sais pas quelle est cette relation.
Because you agreed that X does not have a relationship.
Parce que tu es d'accord que le X n'a pas de relation.
So you're already saying that 2 has a special connection to 1 and I want to know what it is.
Tu as déjà dit que 2 a une relation spéciale avec 1 mais j'aimerais savoir quelle est-elle.
We can come back to it if you don't know. Anybody else?
Là, on va revenir.
Oh, at the back? Mike, please, Mike.
About the X, I think we have 1X, we also have 2X.
We can have
So-
as many X's as we want.
So, coming to the question, trying to answer why is number 2 important?
La question c'est pourquoi le numéro 2, le présent, est important.
Number 2 is important because at one stage, at the end,
Parce qu'il est important parce qu'à un certain moment,
we will have 1 is equal to 2, 2 is equal to 3.
1 equals 2?
At the end, when all is said and done, 1 will be equal to 2, 2 will be equal to 3, and therefore all the numbers will be equal.
Okay, So we eventually got to the same place that Tina has said that you said you disagreed with, that
Alors, nous sommes arrivés au même point avec lequel Tina disait qu'elle était en désaccord.
that 2 does equal 1,
Que 2 égale 1.
which is what Tina said.
C'est ce que Tina a dit.
Okay. Tato? I thought this was going to be quick, by the way.
Je pensais que ça aurait été très
It's
rapide.
good.
This reminds me of the principle that we usually use,
Ça me rappelle un principe que nous utilisions avant,
or the principle that God repeatedly used whenever God wants to clarify something to us. No, I was saying that the principle that God normally uses to clarify something to us.
The principle that God uses to clarify things.
le principe que Dieu utilise pour clarifier les choses.
Of a witness upon a witness.
Un témoin sur un témoin.
So you have number 1 witnessing of what's going to happen to the future.
Nous avons le numéro 1 qui est témoin de ce qui va se passer dans le futur.
1
Witnessing of what's going to happen in the future.
equals
3.
Alors, le 1 est témoin de ce qui va se passer dans le futur.
But that one witness is not enough. God is going to give you a second witness, which is number 2, to testify of number 3.
Et nous avons aussi le numéro 2 qui est le deuxième témoin pour justifier ce qui va se passer dans le futur, le 3.
so 1 equals.
So you have 2 being equal to 3.
Oh,
So God is. So it's 2. Is a testimony of number 3. So meaning.
2 est un témoin du numéro 3,
So meaning 1 and 2 are equal.
donc it's equal.
Yes,
Donc le 2 égale le 3.
because they are witnessing upon one another.
Parce qu'ils sont témoins l'un de l'autre.
how do you know 2 equals 3?
Comment tu sais que 2 égale 3?
It's because it's the second witness.
Parce que c'est le deuxième.
It's gonna witness.
How do you know?
Et comment tu le sais?
It's because of what 1 is actually saying as well.
Because of what 1 is saying.
Par rapport à ce que le 1 dit.
And what is 1 saying?
Et que dit le
One is telling you of what is going to happen in the future.
1 te dit ce qui va se passer.
1 says I'm equal to 3.
Le 1
Yes.
dit je suis égal au 3.
And how does that prove that 2 equals 3?
Et comment ça prouve que le 2
It's
égale
be-
le 3?
It's when you look at the present, you see that building upon its.
On sait, quand tu regardes dans le présent, on sait que ça témoigne de lui.
You just said 1 equals 3, 1 equals 2,
1
Yes,
égale 2.
therefore 2 equals 3,
yes.
which is what our friend said over there.
Tina, yes.
No, Tina
No,
said
no.
it, and then I don't know her name, sorry, but she said the same thing.
Tina l'a dit, mais
Futi. Sorry. Futi said the same thing.
aussi a dit la même chose.
Cobus. Oh, you had your hand up? Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't see your hand.
I just want to try.
Please.
I'm standing at number 2. Number 2, the present. Okay, I'm standing at number 2, which is the present. Whatever is happening, whether it's events at number 2, I'll look back. I'll look back at number 1 and see that from number 1, what happened in number 1 is happening in number 2. Then it will make me understand what is going to happen at number 3. Which makes it 1 plus 2 is equals 3. So history from 1 to 2 will be a repeat and enlarge to history between 2 and 3.
Thank you. Okay. Chichi?
Okay,
Chichi.
me, I was thinking that 1 is equals to 3.
Sorry?
Me, I was thinking that 1 is equals to 3.
1 is close to 3.
Equals.
Equals.
Yeah. But we can't come off from 1 to 3 without understanding 2.
We can't understand the relationship between 1 and 3 without understanding 2.
On ne peut pas comprendre la relation qui existe entre le 1 et le 3 sans comprendre le 2.
So me, I would say 2 is neutral.
2 is neutral.
Yes.
Okay. We'll do Cobus, then my friend, and then my other friend. Cobus, then your neighbour, and then
I think the problem here is
Je pense que le problème,
1 definitely explains 3. You want to know the relation between 2.
je veux, le 1 et le 3, on peut comprendre la relation du 2.
I got 1 equals 3.
Yes.
1 égale 3.
But 2 give you the reference where you need to go back to number 1.
Mais 2 te donne la référence pour aller au numéro 1.
And how does 2 have the power to give you reference to 1?
Et comment le numéro 2 a le pouvoir de te donner la référence du 1? L'information du numéro 2.
Let's take Acts 27.
No examples.
Okay.
He was going to give an example. I said, no examples. It's the road to destruction when you have to explain to an example.
C'est une règle de destruction quand il te faut expliquer par un exemple.
Never do it.
Ne le fais
The one who's sitting next to him, next to Cobus.
I'm just going to take a wild guess and say 1 and 3 gives you 2.
1 and 3 gives you 2.
Yes.
Okay, that's definitely wrong. We're running out of time, so I have to be strict. Sorry. If you said that at the beginning, I would have given you more time. I got your hand, Milton.
Yes. I think number 2 is a pivot.
A what?
A pivot. A turning point.
Pivot.
Yes.
Number 2 is a pivot. So you're saying what Curtis said, a hinge.
Yeah, exactly. So you have the history or the story at number 1.
Carry on.
Which serves as an example of what's going to happen at number 3. But number 2 gives you the real life aspects of how that story would look like at number 3.
So you just said 1 equals 3,
Yes.
and you said 2 equals 3.
I think 3 develops from 2 real life aspects. But the story of
You said 2 gives you the real life aspect of 3.
yes.
Why can't I put equal? 2 equals 3. 2 is the real 3. 2 is the real aspect of 3. 2 equals 3. I'm repeating
Yes.
what you said.
Yes.
How do you know 2 equals 3?
I think 2 and 3 are in the same
timeline, if I can say.
Je pense que 2 et 3, c'est la même ligne de temps.
So 3 is not in the future, or 2 is in the future?
2 is a turning. 2 is a turning point, like I said.
I'll do turning points in a minute.
Ou un point tournant. Je vais voir, on va parler du point tournant.
You said 2 is 3?
Tu as dit que le 2, c'est le 3?
Yes.
How do you know?
Comment tu sais?
I just know.
Honest person. Just one last. What is a hinge or a pivot or a turning point?
C'est quoi un point d'ancrage ou bien le pivot?
It's a point where you join two things.
C'est un point où
A point where you join two things.
c'est un point où on rejoint deux choses. Une charnière.
How do you know you're at that point?
Comment sais-tu que tu te trouves à ce point-là?
Because it's a real life explanation of 3. That's what you're going to say.
Yes. When the story in number 1 starts to happen in real life,
When the story in number 1 happens in real life in number 2.
Quand l'histoire réelle du numéro 1 se passe dans l'histoire numéro 2,
Which is code word
qui est un mot de code
for 1 equals 2.
pour dire que 1 égale 2,
somehow.
d'une certaine manière.
Okay? We're going to do codes in a minute. You're done in. Milton.
Okay. So, me, I'm agreeing with what Atina said.
We can't hear anything you're saying.
Can you hear me now?
It's like muffled.
Now?
Yeah, go.
So, I'm going to agree with what Tina said.
D'être en accord avec ce qu'a dit Tina,
And I want to add,
j'aimerais ajouter,
if we say 1 equals 3,
nous voyons que le 1 égale le 1,
according to the structure of Isaiah,
selon la structure d'Ésaïe.
for me, that structure is a bit too simple because things, when they progress, they get more complicated.
Can't hear you.
Okay.
Begin with for me.
Okay. For me, that structure is too simple
Pour moi, cette structure est trop simple.
to fully explain
Yeah.
number 3.
1 equals 3 is too simple.
It's too simple. If you are to just to look at 1 and say that's 3, for me, it doesn't work. So you need number
there.
2.
To say 1 equals 3 is fake news.
Pour dire que 1 égale 3, c'est une fausse information.
You need number 2.
Il nous faut le numéro 2.
Carry on.
Yeah, you need number 2 to actually understand.
You need number 2 to explain number 3.
On a le numéro 2 pour expliquer on a besoin du numéro 2 pour expliquer le numéro 3.
Because you can't trust number 1 to do the job properly.
Parce qu'on ne peut pas placer notre confiance dans le 1 pour qu'il fasse correctement le travail.
But people laughed. I don't know why they were laughing. Because that's what he was saying. Made sense to me. Are you done or you?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. So, Darlington? 1 second, Darlington. So, Milton said 1 equals 3, all good.
1 égale 3, c'est
Unlike what some others said,
et comme ce que les autres ont dit,
1 and 3 are so far apart
1 et 3 sont si éloignés.
that if you just had 1 on its own, it won't explain number 3
Parce que si on n'a que le 1, il ne va pas expliquer le numéro 3.
accurately,
Juste avec justesse,
without safety.
sans, avec sécurité.
So you need number 2
On a besoin du numéro 2
to support number 1
qui soutient le numéro 1
in order to explain number 3,
pour expliquer le numéro 3.
which, however you do the maths, means that 1 and 2
Quelle que soit la façon dont vous faites les maths, 1 et 2
point to 3.
pointent sur
which means 1 equals 2, 2 equals 3, and 1 equals 3.
C'est-à-dire que 1 égale 1, 2, 2 égale 3, 1 égale 3.
If you don't like, this is correct, if you don't like equals, we can put something else.
Si tu n'aimes pas égal, c'est autre chose.
But the word relationship isn't the something else.
Mais le mot relation n'est pas
Because equals is a relationship.
parce que le mot égal, c'est la relation.
You need to explain what the relationship is.
Ça explique ce qu'est la relation.
So you think of something, please. So, you don't say nothing now? So to Darlington, as we're going to Darlington, we've all agreed that 1 points you to 3. So I'm not sure what Darlington's going to say, but if we're going to say that number 2 is important, then we must know that 1 to 3 is not sufficient. So it's, if we don't understand the relationship of what, if we don't know the work that 2 is doing, we know it must be doing something. And the reason it's needed is because you can't simply go from 1 to 3. In theory you might, but you expose yourself to dangers. So this is not second witnesses. It's not triple application like 1 plus 2 equals 3. It might resemble those concepts, those models, but it's slightly different. And so I think we've even though you may not think we've progressed, we have. But we just need to all get to the same place that we understand number 2's role and its necessity. Go ahead, Darlington.
I just wanted to say that 1 equals 3, and that 1 is declared and 3 is declared.
I didn't catch what number 1 is.
Number 1
is
equal to 3.
Got that?
And then number 1 and number 3 are both declared.
What's that word?
Declared.
Oh.
So at a surface level, we can simply say 1 equals 3. But the problem is there's that huge gap.
There's a big gap between 1 and 3.
1 and 3.
Where is 3 declared?
In the verse, declaring the end from the beginning.
Okay, so you're just quoting the verse. You're not making a conceptual statement.
No. All right, so when you have 1 and 3 declared, there's a huge gap. But point 2 helps us to be part of that, of the link, where those 2 declarations make sense.
And how does 2 have so much power to be able to do that?
Because it's the only one that can look at 1 and look at 3.
Because 2 is the only one that can look at 1 and look at 3. So what's the relationship between 2 and 1?
2, what's happening at 2 can be understood by looking at 1.
So 2 equals 1.
At one level, yes. And at the same time, 2 helps us understand 3
So 2 equals 3.
as well, yes.
So 1 equals 3, 2 equals 1,
Uh-huh.
and 2 equals 3.
Yes.
So it seems like many of us are all saying the same thing now. At the front here, except Curtis.
I have a slight different. I'm actually disagreeing with whatever is being said.
I didn't understand what you said. You
I'm disagreeing
who?
with the point of 1 equals 2. Because for me, equal sign is a fact, and I don't see how 1 is equal to 2. So maybe someone can explain further of the relationship between 1 and 2, of how they are equal, they are being.
Are you asking a question or are you giving an opinion?
My opinion is they are not equal.
What's that word?
1 is not equal to 2.
Just tell me what 2 is. It's job function.
2, I would say it's a transition point. That's the job function.
How do you know it's a transition point?
Because it's in between 1 and 3.
Okay, is X a transition point?
Yes.
So is X 2?
No.
So how many transition points are there?
It depends with the story.
Depends on the story.
Mm-hmm.
So you tell me why 2 is a transition point and X is also 1.
I'll say 2 is a transition point because it's helping us.
Can you see what he's doing? He's going to get to the same place and make 2 equal 1. How do you know it's a transition?
Because it's neither 1 or 3.
No, it's because you see something at 2 that reminds you of that looks like there is a transition from or to.
Yeah, maybe I have to think more of that point.
We can all shout 1. To make it part of the story, it has to have a relationship to the other numbers.
Yes, I agree with that.
What's the relationship? It looks completely different, or it looks completely the same. Which one would you go for?
It's
different or same?
Same as in similar.
Similar and same are the same thing. So you've got to equal again. Just do you agree? You got to say it's equal.
So does that mean 1 equals to 2, 2 equals to 3?
Yes. If anybody wants to substitute equal and put similar, I don't mind. We all know what happened 2,000 years ago at number 1 is not going to look exactly the same as number 3. But it has to be the same enough that they point to each other. Which is why I put equals. The verse says it. The end from the beginning, they're the same. If they weren't the same, you're not doing anything. Curtis is cringing off camera. Who's speaking? Stella? Go ahead.
I want to say something about the importance of number 2. So number 2 is the present where I stand. These are events that are happening which I'm not understanding, which will cause me to go to number 1 to look for the events which are the same like what are happening at number 2. So that makes me understand number 2. And predict number 3.
Anyone else? Sorry? Go for it.
I'm not saying I have an answer, but the way it's explained and mapped out at the moment makes number 2 not important. Because if 1 equals 2 and 2 equals 3 and 1 equals 3, you don't need 2. So I don't know how else to explain it through symbols or etc. But
if you didn't have number 2,
I get the point.
If you didn't have number 2, could you know that 1 equals 3? I don't mean the theory. I don't mean some random verse.
No.
In real life.
No.
You would not know that 1 equals 3 without number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to ask Curtis to do what I said Cobus couldn't do. Give us an example. So?
I'll give an example.
Give one that I want, which is Daniel 3. That's number 1. Now I want a number 2 and I want a number 3.
Daniel 3, golden image.
Well, yeah, so really simply, just a one-off thing. What number 1 is Daniel 3, not all the little steps unless it's
Yeah,
absolutely
I'm just
necessary.
saying golden image. Image of the beast. Number 2 is present. For sake of this conversation, number 3 is Sunday law. So the story of Daniel 3 is going to tell us what happens at the Sunday law. And so the point that you've made, which I accept, is that you don't fully grasp what happens at the Sunday law. Without understanding the dynamics today.
One looks so different to number 3 that it doesn't help. Then what do we do?
So today we look at what's happening, and that's going to give us information about what number 3 is going to look like.
I got image of the beast. That's image of Nebuchadnezzar. That's real life.
Yeah.
What's number 3? You had Sunday law, but what is number 3?
A president of a country. A president of a country.
Accurate but simple.
Image of the beast.
Can't do image of the beast. What event is a Sunday law here? What is that? As a movement, what would we expect the Sunday law to be?
For simplicity, election.
Because Ellen White's going to say Congress is going to pass a law.
So that's why I said for its simplicity, election. So you only know it's an election.
So I've got election in the USA. So there's no way you're going to get from number 1 to number 3. Do we all agree with that? That's just not going to happen. And even if it was Ellen White's version, it still wouldn't happen. You can't get from 1 to 3. Whatever great controversy says, it just doesn't work. So Ellen White will have a number 2 somewhere. Carry on.
And so number 2 is going to give you details of number 3.
So we've got number 2 is important. We all agree with that. I didn't trick anybody. But no one said this. And someone should have. They said this is too far. Several people said that. But I don't think what anybody did was to say this. So Curtis is going to put that. What do we put here? This bracket. The bracket that's there. This one is too far.
And that one is too close.
Number 2 has to have a characteristic.
Close.
That's not why it's important, but it has no value unless it's close. Which is why you can't have X as that point. There's only one unique waymark that you can have, which you've called number 2. And one of its properties, it has to be close to number 3.
Et l'une de ses caractéristiques, c'est qu'elle doit être proche du numéro 1.
And we all should have known that.
Nous devrions tous le savoir.
And we all did know that,
Et oui, nous le savions.
but you didn't say.
Nous ne l'avions pas dit.
Carry on.
Where were we?
So, I want to ask, we said that number 1 can't do the job.
On a dit que le numéro 1 ne peut pas faire le travail.
So you're going to explain something about number 2 and its importance.
Et on va expliquer quelque chose au numéro 2 qui est important.
And before I let you do that,
Et avant que je te laisse le faire,
I introduced the concept that it has to be close to number 3.
on a introduit le concept que le 2 doit être proche du présent doit être proche du futur.
Number 1 then interprets, number 2, interprets number 1.
Le numéro 2 interprète le numéro 1.
So I'm going to put the words, I'm not going to put equals.
Donc je ne vais pas mettre égal, je vais mettre interprète.
So that number 1 can do a good job of explaining number 3.
De ce fait, le numéro 1 peut faire un bon travail pour expliquer le numéro 1.
I need to know what number 2 is, because we're doing an example.
Oh, so number 2, what you want me to substitute the numbers for the example that we went through?
Veux-tu substituer les nombres pour l'exemple qu'on utilise là?
I've got a statue of Nebuchadnezzar,
Mm-hmm.
Statue de Nebuchadnezzar
turns into an election in the USA,
qui a été changé en une élection aux États-Unis.
which doesn't make any sense to me.
Ça n'a aucun sens pour moi.
And number 2 is going to fix everything.
Et le numéro 2 va tout fixer.
So
Number
tell me how
2
number 2 fixes all of that.
Et dis-moi comment le numéro 2 règle tout cela.
Number 2 shows you the world you're living in.
Le numéro 2 te montre le monde dans lequel
I'm going to bring this down here. So I've just got world today,
je vais simplement écrire le monde d'aujourd'hui.
And then you take the principles of 1, see how it manifests in the world today,
Vous prenez le principe du 1 pour voir comment ça se manifeste dans le monde d'aujourd'hui.
simply. What's the world today that's connected to the world of 1?
Quel est le monde d'aujourd'hui qui est connecté avec le monde numéro 1 le passé?
there's a power struggle.
Il y a une lutte de pouvoir.
So in the world today,
Donc dans le monde d'aujourd'hui,
there's a power struggle.
il y a une lutte de pouvoir.
With Nebuchadnezzar, there was a power struggle.
Chez Nebuchadnezzar aussi, il y avait une lutte de pouvoir.
And so I look today how that power struggle manifests.
Et je regarde aujourd'hui comment cette lutte de pouvoir se manifeste.
And that's going to point to number 3, where we see the fulfillment of that power struggle that we saw in number 1.
Ça va nous pointer vers le numéro 3 où on voit cette lutte de pouvoir qui était aussi au numéro 1.
And how do you know it's the US election?
Et comment tu sais que c'est les élections américaines?
You asked me to go through the steps.
From 2 to 3.
Tu me demandes de faire les étapes de 2, oui, de 2 à 3.
Because in the world today,
Parce que dans le monde aujourd'hui,
in that power struggle,
il y a donc cette lutte de pouvoir,
how kingdoms rise and fall
comment les royaumes s'élèvent, chutent,
is through elections.
c'est à travers les élections.
In number 1, oh, okay, let's stop there.
I don't like using examples because it's a really bad technique.
Je n'aime pas utiliser des exemples parce que c'est vraiment une mauvaise technique.
But we've used one,
On en a utilisé une,
and I'm hoping it may have helped some of you.
j'espère que ça a aidé certains d'entre vous.
But the most important thing I want us to know is that 2 and 3 have to be close to each other.
Et la chose la plus importante que je voulais qu'on sache, c'est que le numéro 2 et 3, présent, futur, doivent être rapprochés l'un de l'autre.
Anybody want to add anything or ask anything? Or you?
On peut ajouter quelque chose ou dire quelque chose.
How do you know number 3 is not a coup?
Que le numéro 3, c'est pas un coup d'État.
Everybody knows what a coup is?
Tout le monde sait ce qu'est un coup.
Take a government by force.
Prend le gouvernement par la force.
How do you know 3 is not a coup?
Comment savez-vous que le 3 n'est pas un coup?
Using the structure that we have.
Using the structure we have.
En utilisant la structure qu'on a.
Because I look at number 2,
Je regarde le numéro
or I'm in number 2,
Je suis au numéro 2.
and that's not how what we're looking for transpires.
Et c'est pas ce que nous regardons qui se passe.
So at number 2 today,
Aujourd'hui,
the way things happen in the USA do not happen through coups.
aujourd'hui, ce qui se passe aux USA ne se passe pas à travers un coup d'État.
And therefore, number 3 cannot be a coup.
Par conséquent, le numéro 3 ne peut pas être un coup.
The kingdom.
Is that what you said?
Yep. The kingdom in number 2
Les royaumes au numéro 3,
that we're anticipating to fall
qui sont anticipés à tomber,
has special properties to it,
ont des propriétés spécifiques qui leur est attachées.
which means it rises and falls in specific ways.
Et le monstre il s'élève et chute d'une façon particulière.
At number 2.
At number 2.
Au numéro 2.
And that special property is democracy.
Et cette propriété-là, c'est la démocratie.
That's what makes it unique.
Et c'est ce qui rend unique.
So the way it lives and dies is through that mechanism.
La façon dont ça vit et meurt, c'est le mécanisme.
Why don't you like me saying 2 equals 3?
Pourquoi tu n'aimes pas que je dise 2 égale 3?
Because from what we've just described,
Parce que par rapport à ce qu'on vient de décrire,
I use the word 2 interprets 1.
j'ai utilisé le mot 2 interprète le 1.
That seems to be its job for me.
Pour moi, ça semble être son travail.
Number 1 is the thing that's going to explain 3,
Pour moi, le numéro 1 va expliquer le 3,
but it needs help.
mais il a besoin d'aide.
And the help that it gives is interpretation. It's not that the events today
C'est leur interprétation de ce qu'ils font aujourd'hui
equal 3.
qui est égale à 3.
I think you end up making mistakes that way.
Parce que je pense qu'on peut commettre des erreurs de cette façon.
So today, if we have elections,
Aujourd'hui, si nous avons des élections,
does that define what number 3 has to be?
est-ce que ça doit définir ce que doit être le numéro 3?
3 can't be any other way.
Le 3 ne peut être rien d'autre.
Sure. Yeah. Yes.
And why is it not safe to say equals?
Et pourquoi ce n'est pas sûr de dire égal?
The way you do it at 2 has to be the same way at 3.
Parce que la façon dont tu fais 2 doit être la même que le 3.
Because what each are providing is different. Because what each thing is providing is different.
Parce que chaque chose qui est donnée est différente.
Number 1's going to control the context.
Le
Yes.
numéro 1 va
Structure.
contrôler le contexte,
Power struggle.
la lutte de pouvoir.
You see a power struggle at number 1,
On voit une lutte de pouvoir au numéro 1.
so you know number 3 is going to be about a power struggle.
Et tu sais que le numéro 3 sera en lien avec la lutte de pouvoir.
That's what you had somewhere here.
C'est ce qu'on a là.
But you don't know what that power struggle is going to look like.
Yeah.
Tu ne sais pas à quoi ressemblera cette lutte de pouvoir.
And number 2
Et le numéro
will do what for you?
Tell you what that power struggle looks like.
Can I use the word define?
Yeah.
So, at 2, is there a power struggle? Not the power struggle,
Yeah,
is it
yeah,
a power
yeah.
struggle?
Yes.
The power struggle at number 2, which then, it doesn't tell you there'll be a power struggle at number 3 because 1 has already done that.
Yes.
But number 2 will define what the power struggle is.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's so close to 3.
Yeah.
And if the power struggle in number 3 is an election in the USA, isn't that what has to be the issue at number 2? I'm not saying there is an election at number 2, I'm saying isn't that what the struggle is at number 2?
In words, I'm on the same page. Maybe I'm just being pedantic, but as soon as you go into equations, 1 equals 2, 2 equals 3 is not the same thing as what we've described. But
we've run out of time, but I just want to make sure, because I don't think I want to come back to this, that everybody is comfortable. You have to have 3 waymarks, otherwise it doesn't work. Number 1 will not explain number 3. It doesn't have the ability to do that because it's too far apart. Several people have already recognized that. What 1 does is define the theme or the context of this line. And what 2 does, and the only way it can do that, is by being close to 3. It explains accurately what the theme of the line is. It defines it, in fact. So this is a line, if I'm going to take Curtis's words, the line of power struggle. 1 defined that. But it didn't have the ability to define what the power struggle would be at number 3. If you get so close to number 3, you can anticipate what's happening. Number 2 will accurately tell you what number 3 will look like. For it to do that, it has to have the same elements going on at number 2 that you anticipate at number 3, and that happened at number 1. The simple answer is power struggle. But at number 2, you have to see what the power struggle is about. It's context. So we went backwards because there's no way that Curtis would know that. What I've lined here. There's no way that you're going to know that number 3 is a US election. You can't know that. Because the only thing that tells you it's going to be that at number 3
La seule chose qui vous dit que ce sera cet événement numéro 3.
is number 2. Do you agree with that? Have I not misstated? The only way you know number 3 is an election because number 2 will tell you that.
La seule façon que vous savez que numéro 3, ça sera une élection, c'est que c'est le 2 qui vous le dit.
Any questions before we close?
Une question avant.
Justine, have you had your hand up at all? Do you want to give some input before we close? If you do we need a mic.
I had raised my hand to ask what's it today. So at number 3 there is election, and so what's the
Repeat
today?
that last sentence. From
What's at
today. Start
number
with
2?
today.
Where we wrote today, what are we saying is there? That's my question.
Justina wants us to explain what today is.
Justina veut savoir
What's happening.
ce qui se passe aujourd'hui.
Is that correct? Today, there's a power struggle going on.
Aujourd'hui, il y a une lutte de pouvoir qui a lieu.
By the way, today is not literally today.
Et au fait, quand on dit aujourd'hui, c'est pas littéralement aujourd'hui.
It was yesterday.
C'était hier.
So, a couple of months ago, which is when today is,
Donc quelques mois auparavant, c'est là où c'était aujourd'hui.
there's a power struggle going on in the world.
Il y a une lutte de pouvoir qui a lieu dans le monde.
And it's so close
Et c'est si proche
to what we think number 3 is going to be about
de ce qu'on pense que sera le numéro 3
that we can accurately predict what the issue at number 3 will be.
et qu'on peut avec justesse prédire ce que sera l'événement du numéro 3.
So today there's a power struggle.
Aujourd'hui, donc, il y a une lutte de pouvoir.
Something to do with the rise and fall of nations. That's what we've got here.
Quelque chose à voir avec la montée et la chute des nations, c'est ce que nous avons.
Through elections.
À travers l'élection.
Or in the movement people call it through the democratic process.
Et dans le mouvement, on dit, on l'appelle le processus démocratique.
So that's what's going on at number 2.
C'est ce qui se passe au numéro 2.
Power struggle between kingdoms.
Une lutte de pouvoir entre les royaumes.
How they rise and fall is through elections that follow a democratic process.
Et la manière dont ils s'élèvent et tombent, c'est par rapport à un processus électoral.
We see all of that happening,
Nous l'avons tous vu se passer.
and then that predicts or anticipates what will happen at number 3.
Et cela prédit ou anticipe ce qui va se passer au numéro 3.
Has to follow those characteristics.
Ça doit suivre ces caractéristiques.
Did that answer your question or not?
Est-ce que ça répond à ta question ou pas? Donc, est-ce que le numéro 2 doit être une balise?
So I've just done 1, 2 and 3.
Je viens de faire 1, 2, 3.
Daniel 3, image of the beast.
Daniel 3, l'image de la bête.
There's 5 waymarks just in that story.
Il y a 5 balises dans cette histoire.
And there's several for the Sunday law one.
Il y en a plusieurs pour la loi du dimanche.
So these waymarks that are on this line are just concepts.
Donc ces balises qui sont sur cette ligne, ce sont que des concepts.
2 is not indicating a specific event.
Le 2 n'indique pas un événement spécifique.
It could, but it doesn't have to.
Ça pourrait, mais il n'a pas besoin que ce soit ainsi.
So, number 2,
Numéro 2, aujourd'hui,
you might want to do a study and argue that it's 2016, 2020.
we can do a study. On peut faire une étude et discuter, ça peut être 2016, 2020.
But it doesn't necessitate that it's the definition of what 2 would be.
Mais ça pourrait être la définition de ce que serait le numéro 2.
It doesn't have to be a US election at 2.
Le 2 n'a pas besoin d'être une élection à 9.
But it has to be the struggle of kingdoms
Mais ça doit être la lutte entre les royaumes.
warring for supremacy.
La guerre pour obtenir la suprématie.
So you have to see 2 kingdoms fighting
Il nous faut voir donc la lutte entre 2 royaumes
and how they will win and lose.
et comment ils vont gagner et perdre.
So you have to see elections at 2.
Et nous, dans le numéro 2, on doit voir des élections.
So I'm not saying 2 is a specific year or a specific election,
Le numéro 2, c'est une année spécifique, une élection.
unless you're making a specific point in the study.
Dans l'étude, on ne passe un point spécifique.
That answers your question.
Est-ce que ça en répond à ta question?
Okay, we're way over time.
On a vraiment dépassé le temps.
Let's pray.
Alors, prions.
Holy God, we want to thank you that even though prophecy is complicated, even though each of us has our own thoughts and ideas, with your help, with your assistance, we can change our thoughts, our unique ideas, and explain them in a way that people can understand. I hope in this study we've accomplished that collectively we can have a better explanation and understanding of this line. Amen.